In this section, we are going to discuss the latest and easiest way to deal with asynchronous processes, that is async await. In simple words, async await is an easier way to deal with promises. Promise was an easier way of callback, but async await is even easy to deal with asynchronous process. It is handling promise only, but with simple syntax. So let's begin with a sample code. We have already seen that to handle an asynchronous process, we return a promise object from a function. Let's check this with async. For example, I have just a function called test. At the moment, I want to check what the function returns. So I'll say const, for example, fn function is equal to test. I'm calling the function. Now the function doesn't have anything at the moment, right? So if I try to display the value of fn, let's see what it shows. It says undefined here. So by default, any function you have in JavaScript returns undefined if you do not have any return statement. Let me just add async before the function and just check what now it returns. I am running this and it returns promise. You see this? This itself shows that earlier we were writing return new promise and all like this. But now if you make a function asynchronous, that means you do not need to write a return statement with promise. You do not need to return a promise. Now if you check here, the promise which is returned is resolved and the promise value is undefined. So in case if you return a value like this, let's say I want return 0, for example. Now if I run, then the resolved promise has promise value 0. It also means that when you return a value like this, it is always with a resolved state and this value will be part of promise value. That is the message we had earlier when we were writing the then statement. In case if you want to have a rejection, for example, when we were writing promise, we had resolve and reject. But how about rejecting a promise in this syntax? Certainly you can do that. You just have to say throw new error, right? We already have a class. Now if you do this, let's say error found, something like this, right? The moment I run this, it's going to show me an error. Not only that, if I just continue with this error and go in the console, you will see that the promise is returned, but it says that it is rejected. And the error displayed here is error found. So by writing async statement with the function, you are returning a promise. That means you don't need to write a return statement for promise if the function is asynchronous, number one. Number two, if you want that it should return the rejected state, then you always have the throw statement which can be used to reject a promise. Let's also check the syntax with arrow function. I'll simply return 0 here so that we don't see any error. If this was, let's say, an arrow function, then how would you write it? I'll say const test is equal to asynchronous. You don't need this function or test anything. So I'll remove it and I'll put an arrow after these brackets. That's it. Let me clear and run it again so that you get the idea. How do you write an asynchronous function with an arrow function? So that's how an async is working, and await is used with async. So let's discuss await. Await makes sure to wait till a promise is settled, be it resolved or rejected. The way we write then for handling the promise so far, now we have await, so we can remove the then and replace it with await, something like this. As you see here that we have the function dot then we have the result one, then we have more chaining also. The same thing now, if you have to use await, you can write like this, which is an easier way to deal with the chaining of promises. So looking at this illustration, you can easily make out the simplicity of await while coding. We already saw a code where we were trying to find square. Let's try that code here. This was the code we were trying to get the square. At the moment, I am not writing catch and finally all other things which we already saw with promises. So this code was showing the square of passed value. Let me run this once to make sure that it is working the way we are expecting it. So we passed 2 here and it returns 4, that is square of 2 after 2 seconds. Now let's convert the code with async await. As I mentioned that you can simply replace the then with await. It means I may write like this. I'll say let result is equal to, instead of then I'll say await, and now I'm going to call the function and I just say the value to be passed, that is 2 here, and the result I'm expecting in res variable. That's it. Let's run. But there is an error. The reason is the error says that await is only valid in async function. That means if you are using await, it has to be within an asynchronous function only. So what will we do? We have 2 ways here. Let me show you the first way first. So I'll say function maybe. Let's say I name this as show result. But because I'm going to use await in this function, I'll write async before the function. These 2 lines I'm going to cut and paste it in this function. And the next thing is I'm going to call the show result function, right? So now if you run, you have the valid output. So I also mentioned about the second way. The second way is that this can further be fine-tuned. We can write an asynchronous IFI so that you don't have to create a new function. Like here we have created show result, which was not a need in any case. We wanted that these 2 lines should be executed, but because this await needed an asynchronous function, you put it inside show result. But how about writing a function which doesn't have name and you do not have to call it? I have already discussed IFI in one of our sections, so you can just check what IFI is. So right now I'm going to make an IFI so I don't have to create a function like this. So I'll say an IFI. So generally we put IFI inside pair of parentheses, and at the end, because it is going to get called automatically, you are going to put another pair of parentheses. Now you don't need this name. That's it. Let's run and see what's the output. So you can say that now you have created asynchronous IFI. Now the way we tried processing multiple results with promise, that is while calculating the square, we tried the multiple results. This we saw. So now if you want to do similar with asynchronous, how can we do that? So in this code, right now we have used await. So I will create another variable, result1, await csqr, right? And then the result which you have, that you are going to pass here. So this is going to have the result 1, and here let's say you have result 2, and you are passing result 1 here, and one more time we are going to display the result 2, the next result, that is. So now I am just displaying this result for the sake of getting the output clarity. Otherwise you see a lot of awaits together and you don't have to say anything else. So even when you say then and then you put the code, instead of that, this looks even easier compared to the thenable chaining syntax, that is. Let me run this code also, and This is going to take some time because each result will take 2 seconds. So we have 4, 16 and 256 like this. So that's what asynchronous and await is. We always make sure that when you use await, you should have asynchronous, and the asynchronous actually returns a promise. And when you write asynchronous before a function, that means the function is returning a promise only. I also want to add one more point here, that when a function is asynchronous, that is when we use async, that means it is returning a promise, and it also means that that function becomes thenable as well. So for example, if I have a function test like this, right, this which is not returning anything, but the moment you have asynchronous with it, this means this function is thenable. So you can write this function in this manner as well. This is also a valid syntax, right? Because any function which returns a promise is thenable, and when you say async, it does return a promise only. So do make sure that you do have a function which is thenable. In case if you are creating your own function, and let's say you want to handle the resolved and rejected state with this syntax, you can use the then and catch with an asynchronous function.